Who says scary movies can only come out at Halloween? Is a question I'm asking and has nothing to do with the film I'm reviewing today, because Candyman is not scary. For those of you familiar with the 1992 film, you might be saying, Adam, that one's not scary either. That's not why we're going to this film. Candyman's always been a little bit more nuanced, a little deeper than your average everyday horror bear. You know, there's a little bit under the surface, a little bit below the stuffing, if you will. I'm gonna keep going with that bear analogy for some reason. So in that aspect, how does this 2021 movie fare? Not great. In the Hollywood of 2021, we have to hit people over the goddamn head with our messaging. Whereas the old Candyman kind of left a lot of the stuff up for the imagination, or they just thought the audience was a little smarter, they had a little bit more respect for them. This new film very much tells you exactly what's happening all the time and why the Candyman exists and all the baggage that comes with the character and with this community. I'm being way more vague than the film is, by the way. This is going to be a fun treat for you because I had never seen the original Candyman until the night before going to this new one. So I had no real bias or nostalgia going into this film, and my wife saw the original when she was like 12. So she doesn't remember it at all, other than it was kind of creepy to her. This is a spoiler-free review, but I have to say this for people thinking about going to the new one. Watch the original first like I did, or you're gonna be in a worse position like my wife was. This could be my own fault, but from the trailer I saw of this movie a few months back, I assumed this was a remake or a retelling of the original tale. I did not know they were doing Halloween 2 again. I didn't know they were doing Halloween, the sequel to Halloween. Such a good naming convention, isn't it? When you make a sequel and you title it the exact same thing as the original. Bravo, Hollywood! 2021 Candyman is a sequel to Candyman. You have to know that going in or you will be confused. Even though the movie is probably 50% exposition, they really want you to be familiar with that first story. They drive it home, and then they drive it some more, and then they drive it a third time until you've been sick of running around the bases. Now we're doing baseball analogies. Teddy bears, baseball. We're all over the place, aren't we? I assume they released this now because Halloween 2 is coming out. I'm sorry, Halloween 3? Halloween Resurrection or Revengeance or whatever they're calling this. That comes out this Halloween. So they didn't want to compete with themselves. I believe they're both Universal. I might be wrong, but whatever. One of them didn't want to compete with the other. That's the bottom line. So we have this released in August. The actors here are all doing a great job. There's nothing real cringy outside of one of the characters saying extra, which I don't think that phrase is even used anymore. Oh man, you're being really extra right now. This is gonna age like a fine wine. The main character is Anthony. He's a painter. He's an artist. He's a very tall, handsome drink of water. His girlfriend owns the art gallery conveniently that he gets to show his paintings at. Typical. You can't work your way to the top if you're sleeping with the person that's up there. That's unfair. That's unfair for us common peasants, Anthony. Actually, he's a really good painter, so props to him. And he gets even better, if not slightly unhinged, when he gets the call from the Candyman to start doing his bidding. Get the word out. Spread it like a messenger bird. For the queen bee at the honeycomb. Now we're getting into something a little bit more relevant with the bee stuff. I always found the name Candyman a little confusing, especially in the 92 one when the only real situation that has candy is when we see some in a pile with razor blades in it. Otherwise, I thought, like Honeycomb Man or maybe King Bee or maybe I Know What You Did Last Summer Dude. I mean, it's something more relevant to what happened to him originally, which is he got his hand lobbed off, a hook was put in place, they threw a beehive on him, he got stung to death, and then they burned him alive. It's like going to the car wash and looking through all the different options. You have the Ultimate, you have the Platinum, you have the Super Ultimate Platinum Gold Edition, and then you're just looking like, do I really need the wax coating? I think I do. I think I should have that. Click. Except for in his case, torturous death. Something else I just realized mere minutes ago, and I have to point out because I'm a dumbass. Vanessa Williams is in the credits early on, and my wife and I said, oh wow, Vanessa Williams, we haven't seen her in a long time. The singer/actress. We couldn't find her in the film because we were looking for the wrong Vanessa Williams. Now this is a younger version who was in the original Candyman. So we're dumb. We're dumb. We're a dumb couple. We're made for each other. Overall, the acting's great. None of the characters are annoying. We do have our kind of staples in 2021. You have the gay couple. You have the woke couple. There's a lot of, the horrible hack writing going on. If you can ignore it, you'll be fine, I think. But, I mean, the people that already look for that in films, though, are going to be not thrilled with this one. Hey, Blue Lives Matter, bro. You're going to want to go ahead and skip this film. I think there was one jump scare in this, so I'm impressed that they didn't go that route. The original had two, I believe. They were really shitty, really cringy jump scares. So this one stays away from that. Film-wise, they did a cool thing where they almost did an opposite of the original that had a lot of those top-down pre-drone shots of the city, and they just kind of were eerie, atmospheric, shots with weird music on top. This does that too with the music, but now you're in reverse. You're looking up at the sky, and you're seeing the buildings overhead as the opening shot continues. It's a good shot. I liked it. It got me in the mood. But then, unfortunately, the slow burn plays out. Now, the original Candyman had a slow burn as well, but it was an interesting one. Anthony he's kind of retreading old familiar ground, and there is some interesting twists and stuff that play out later where I was like, I like that. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't enough to keep me too invested. So the story's not the most engaging, fine. So the scares aren't as exciting as I wanted them to be, okay. But what about the kills, Adam? How are they? Well, those thankfully are pretty cool. Not a lot of them, but the ones that are there mix it up a lot. We got some cool shit on display here. So from that aspect, when the kills happen, I wasn't disappointed. They did some fun stuff with the camera angles, from the perspectives of the characters. Very good. Very happy with that. It's just, they're very few and far between. So the real question today is this. Did Candyman leave me satisfied, filled with his sugary sweetness, or did I feel like I needed a little bit more from him? I hear it now. That sounded disgusting. I liked it more than my wife did, but I think that's because I had the original fresh in my mind still, and this plays off of that a lot. The Halloween sequel, Halloween, not Halloween 2, but the other Halloween sequel, Halloween, does a much better job playing off the first without having to constantly refresh us on what's going on. Obviously, the story is simpler than what's going on with Candyman, so they're able to get away with it more. But it's clear Candyman wanted to be Halloween, but couldn't quite deliver. So unless you are a diehard Candyman fan and want to get more into that universe, I think you'll enjoy it because I did. But if you aren't that familiar with the story or just are like, it was fine, I would definitely wait. Wait until this one comes out to stream or to rent on Amazon or whatever. Well, that's it. That was painless. That's the review. If you're new here and you came from some sort of a search result, you might want to stick around, maybe think of subscribing, because I also do a show called Movie Feuds, and in just a few short days, I'm going to be pitting the 92 version against this one. It should be a fun time, talking about the pros and cons of each, diving a little deeper inside of Candyman and what makes him tick. I also talk about non-related Candyman stuff too, so stick around. There's a lot of movie content here. I'd love to have you. I just don't get why his name is Candyman. I mean, sweets for the sweet. Hey, come on, that's not that great. Oh, you're still here. Hey, maybe think about joining me on Patreon at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies since you've made it this far. Clearly, you think I'm doing something all right, and you think, you know what, Adam? You deserve $1 a month or $5 a month even. Maybe I'll go nuts and give you 10. The options are there. They're at your fingertips. I'm leaving it up to you. You could hit the join button right here on YouTube and even save you a click away from this site and join me here. There's exclusive shows for you. It's quite a treat. I'm the Candyman now. I'm the Candyman now.